Guys, so we are live here with Scott Loeffert. Scott has been kind enough to take time out of his day to chat with us about his experience working with Good Vibe Squad. So good afternoon, Scott. How's it going?
Good, man. How are you?
All right, awesome. I'll just let you take this away. Just introduce yourself, who you are, where you're from, and what do you do?
Cool. So my name is Scott. I'm from Denver, Colorado. Loan originator with Guild Mortgage. Um, Ultimately, we started with Good Vibes, back in January, February, beginning of the year.
Mhm.
And yeah, they've been pretty good system so far.
Awesome. Yeah. So Scott, so just real quick, one I wanted to ask is what made you decide to work with us initially?
Yeah, it's a good question. So um, I knew going into 2019 that I wanted to create ways to generate my own business, right? So as a loan originator, you're trying to build, realtor partnerships, and that's one pillar of business that can come your way. Other business relationships that can refer business back and forth. But I ultimately wanted to try to control a little bit more or add another pillar of my business. And with that pillar, it was purely to try to drive in mortgage interested business that I can work with clients on getting them fully pre-approved, but that's not agent represented. So I ultimately could be able to go back to my current book of agents and business that I'm working with and give back to them who have given to me, but then also use that to leverage and try to find some other new agent business that I haven't worked with. So it's purely to try to control a little bit more of my own business and try to give back and build future business with other agents.
And that's what we've seen. Most of the clients that we work with, you're trying to generate business for yourself, but more so, you're generating, these pre-approved businesses so that you could strengthen and leverage and even attract new realtor partners, right? So that's awesome. So Scott, so we've been working together for a couple of months now. So what does that look like for you? What has been the experience and what kind of results have you seen so far?
Yeah, so since we've started, I would say it's been a unique process where you're almost kind of overloaded a little bit trying to understand the system, but that really doesn't actually take too long to kind of figure out. Um, Once you have it figured out, you realize it's actually pretty slick because it's doing a lot of automation things behind the scenes. I love it. One of the biggest things I love about this system is the client having the ability to just book their appointments in my schedule. So when leads come in and I wake up or I'm going to bed or whatever the case is, and I'm looking at my calendar, I can see that people have already scheduled themselves for 30 or an hour long phone calls with me throughout the week because it's tied to my work calendar. So that's been super fun. And the rest of it, you're chattering and, texting and emailing back and forth. And, since then, once you kind of have the rhythm of how to handle the system in a timely manner, get back to people, then you can start to see the conversion ratio. So yes, success pretty much every month, closing at least 1 to 3 loans every single month, volumes there, building relationships. And that's just from the system. Obviously, once you solidify more relationships with your agent partners or you find new ones and they're bringing business, then technically that's business that's generated from the Good Vibe system.
That's super awesome, right? Because what we want is, we want to generate business directly from the system, but that's not even taking into account the business that you generate back from the realtors through
Yep.
our system, right? So can you talk a little bit more about numbers? Can you kind of elaborate, how much loans have you actually generated and how much loan volume have you actually generated so far?
So I think we have, year to date on it, at least 8 loan closings, about 2.5 million in volume. I have another handful, so probably another 4 to 6 pre-approved clients that are out there shopping, and obviously another massive amount that we're still talking to, connecting with, trying to drive in their docs and get them fully pre-approved. Um, but yeah, I mean, ultimately closed loans, I think about 8 closed loans, 2.5 million, more shoppers and more clients who are just trying to get nailed down.
That's awesome, Scott. All right, man. Sounds good. So one last thing, Scott, for other people that might be watching this video, and they might be looking for something similar, right? A marketing system for them, might be on the fence working with us. They don't know who we are. What can you tell them?
So if you're interested in trying to explore driving in and generating your own leads in this business, and we know that there's a lot of hit and misses. So you're either going to find success or you're not going to find success. I came into this approach going, well, at least I'm just going to try it, right? I'm going to try it. I'm going to see what happens. Yeah, I found success with it. We're rolling through it. I guess a couple things is, one, there is no obligation, right? So you're not on a contract with these dudes. You can cancel it if you want to. I kind of refer to them as like super smart techie people. Like they do stuff that I can't even kind of grasp my head around, and I don't want to, right? All I want to know is that there's leads coming in, there's generating business. You have open, truthful dialogue conversations with them every week on how to coach and how to look at your systems. They are really there for your best interest at heart. Ultimately, it's simple, right? Is if we're not making money or closing deals, then they're not going to retain us as a client. So it's in everybody's best interest to work together, to work the systems, to do what works best. Otherwise, you would cancel and move on. But they definitely know what they're doing. Super smart techie people, and the results will show.
Thanks, Scott. Appreciate your time, bro.
Got it, man. No problem.